This is the Cholo Guy Podcast. Are you one of those who'd rather run, hide, evade, or try to forget something temporarily, like the problems that you are facing right now? Is that you? Hey everyone, this is Cholo Guy, and welcome to my podcast. Each human being has his own way of dealing problems, like any problems around the world. The president has his ways. The pope does it his way. A common person like me has my own way, and maybe we both have same ways dealing our problems with. Yeah, I think so. To be at peace with our lives, we need to make sure that we are able to face our problems properly. Again, let me repeat that word properly. When a person is faced with a problem, we tend to react or respond in a way. We change socially, physically, and even emotionally. Let us start how our physical bodies change when a problem occurs. First, our heart rate and our respiration increases. We also get those, typical headaches, easily startled, and our stomachs get upset. That's often. Then we also have some emotional stuffs going on, like irritability, feeling misunderstood, anxiety, or fear. And then we also have grief or depression. Now, socially, we also incur some changes like withdrawal or isolating from people, impatience, blames other for just anything. And then we don't support people, like we lack supporting others. True, problem is something that we don't want in our lives, but it is natural that they occur, so we can fully stay away from them. When a problem starts, a negative emotion is usually created, and then everything else would trigger a person differently. Now, talking about problems, what are the most common mistakes that we do when we face a problem? First, we panic. We lose control to almost anything when we start panicking. It will give us an idea of things that are not even possible. When you are in this phase, nothing actually makes sense. This will cause us to overthink and worry to the extent that we can't even control things anymore. Second, thinking of what others might think. When we face problems, we sometimes limit our solutions by thinking of the things that the other people might think of. When we face problems, we need to stick with the problem and the solution and not with what others might think. Number three, trying to be the only person who is in control. Problems are sometimes tough, and we may even need others to help us. When we try to act that we can do it alone or do things by ourselves, even when we actually can't, then what we are trying to accomplish here is an inevitable downfall. Asking for help is not something to be ashamed of. Number four, being too emotional. As stated above, a problem brings along a twin brother called negative emotion. When we are too emotional about something, it disables our sense of logic. We decide in a matter that makes us feel happy and not something that makes things right. Number five, we worry about the future. Yes, it is true that we need to include what the future holds when we plan our today. But if we think of it too much, it makes us think of logic lesser because the problem is actually happening today. I believe that we face problems in different forms and we actually solve them on a daily basis. There are tougher problems and some seems to be very hard. And this is when we try to escape from it. Or maybe we don't escape from the problem, we just try to drive the easier route, which does not solve the problem, just partially solve them. This is when we try to take the easy escape. We should never choose the easy escape. We need to face them head on. Easier said than done, right? I know because it's not easy for me as well. Harder problems are usually going to have more affected areas in our lives, and that is a complication. When problems are harder to solve, we need to do the following and not choose for the shortcut. Number one, identify the root of the problem. Just like trying to take away those evil grass that sucks away the nutrients of a soil, we don't just cut them, we uproot them from the soil. We need to make sure we kill the source. Number two, list down all possible solutions. Now we have all the solutions, that's for sure. But we need to make sure that we list all of them. We need to organize what we have as solutions, then we combine one solution with another. Then we can create a better solution for the problem. Number 3, be reminded of Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. I always believe that we are given enough abilities and power to do things, and usually problems are there to be solved within the day. Number 4, imagine the outcome. So once you have the solution, try to imagine the outcome. The result that you want should be in your head, and make sure that you are able to see that happen. And number 5, brace yourself. Not all the time we get the results that we want, so be ready. Always remember that you can always follow steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the time until you get to that point when everything works just fine. Find a solution that works well for you. So there you go, guys. Those are our simple tips on how not to escape from your problems. Before I go, let me share something that I have learned for the past few weeks. Today is going to be a memory when tomorrow comes. You have the power to make it a good memory or a bad memory. So choose wisely because you only have today. Please don't forget to follow me on the following platforms: Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and our Facebook fan page, Cholo Guy. We want to spread happiness all around the world, so help us to do this by clicking like, follow, and subscribe. Bye!